So this will probably be a quick video, but I've got to finish what I started last week. Yeah, shameless plug to the last video. I want to cover a few more locations in video games that I think stand out as just really beautiful and good-looking places. And as I mentioned in the last video, this is nothing to do with graphics. I'm not talking about most realistic areas, I'm talking about best looking, because they have nice aesthetic, nice atmosphere, nice vibes, just appealing to look at. So to get right into it, I want to start with Kirby Squeak Squad. I was looking through the levels and stuff in this game, trying to find some standout ones, and honestly, I ended up coming to the conclusion that this whole game is just incredibly beautiful. But for one specific example, let's just take a look at the map for the world Ice Island. If you saw the last video, you'd know that a lot of this stuff is space and ice themed, because space and ice themed video game areas just always hit the ball out the park per se, and just look how beautiful this is. In addition to that, from Kirby's Dream Land 3, this is another game of really beautiful art. One level in specific I want to mention is Ripple Field 3. From Kirby 64, I want to mention Neo Star 1, which has this really unique and cool-looking jungle aesthetic, at least compared to the rest of the game. In addition to Shiver Star 1, which just has that classic, beautiful retro game Christmas level appeal to it. And also Pop Star 2, which is like the quiet forest level. It has this nice like autumn forest theme that you don't really see anywhere else and just looks really nice. From Kirby and the Forgotten Land, honestly, I'm a lot more biased to include older games here, because me personally, I think their aesthetics are better, as opposed to realism. But from Kirby and the Forgotten Land, I want to mention, at the very least, the arena for the Unexpected Beast King, just because it's this really cool-looking, broken cathedral type of thing that kind of looks like it's out of, like, Dark Souls or something, and it's just really cool to see out of Kirby, at least. A couple levels from, Kirby's Return to Dreamland. Cookie Country 3, specifically the cave portion with this really cool looking like sun setting in a cave. Raisin Ruins Stage 1. Usually desert areas are some of not the best looking, but this is maybe one of the coolest looking deserts I've ever seen, with all these like sand waves and all this stuff going on. Then of course just every level from White Wafers, because it's the ice world. I also want to mention Dangerous Dinner Stage 1 and 3, because they have really cool lava aesthetics. From Yoshi's Island on the SNES, I want to mention level 3-6, which has this really cool, like, underground mushroom vibe. Kind of reminds me of, like, Terraria almost. Also 6-1, which has, like, this really cool sunset-looking aesthetic to it. And 5-6, which has this really cool, like, 3D simulated death effect on this really nice like sky and sea background. Kind of looks like something out of the Donkey Kong Country trilogy. I want to mention at least one thing from Yoshi's Woolly World, because this is probably one of the best art styles ever. So let's just talk about 5-2, because it's an ice level. From The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, I want to mention some areas including Zora's Domain, which is just really a really cool looking area. Also the Akala Citadel, and the Dracozu Lake or River, all from Breath of the Wild, and I guess maybe also Tears of the Kingdom. Now to talk about Sonic real quick, I haven't actually played this specific game, but I was looking through the original trilogy, because I have played those, and I didn't find anything I thought was worth mentioning here. But then I looked into Sonic Mania and found this thing called a Press Garden Zone. And just look at this. It's like partially this beautiful like autumn or like sakura forest, but it's also snow, and naturally everyone loves snow levels. From some Pokemon games, I definitely have to mention the Cave of Origin from Orez. More so the Alpha Sapphire version, just because the blue aesthetic is cooler to me than the lava one. From Pokemon X and Y, I want to mention Lavier City, which is just a really unique and cool looking city in general. Also the Reflection Cave and the Anastar Sundial. From Pokemon Sun and Moon, I want to mention the Aether Paradise, more specifically like the actual lush area. Also the Verdant Cavern, the Ultra Desert, and the Ultra Forest. The Ultra Desert specifically is maybe one of the coolest places I've ever seen out of Pokemon. Then from Sword and Shield, Balamleia in the Glimwood Tangle, also very high up there. It's a little more niche than like space and snow levels, which I've mentioned are some of the greatest themes, but like glowing mushroom stuff in video games, as random as that is, always looks so cool. Also the Crown Shrine, though, from the DLC of Sword and Shield. From Scarlet and Violet, Area Zero is just a really nice looking place. And then to finally mention something that isn't like Nintendo related, I'll admit I added some locations from Fortnite onto this list. I made this list when some of these locations were new, and I just remember seeing them at the time and thought they were really cool, including Demon's Dojo, which is of course set in a snowy area and just looks really cool. Also Magic Mosses, Shogun Solitude, Reality Falls, and then either the Underworld or Grim Gate. All just really cool looking areas to me, even if they are from Fortnite. And then from the game Celeste, another game with just really nice sprite work, I want to mention Golden Ridge, because really just look at this. And yeah, that's officially all I've got. This list actually is kind of old now, like I made it a few months ago, and I've just held it off as a video for a while, so maybe there's some stuff I could add. Right now, I don't really know, that's just all I've got, so if you like this, consider liking, commenting, and subscribing, and thanks for